Hello, hello, my friends, my family, my community, my tribe. Welcome to the Hippie Moms Podcast. Oh, yeah, ladies, here we are again. And I'm super excited about this interview I had with Natalie Jurado. She is a magnesium expert, and I just loved talking about magnesium because let me tell you, magnesium is a miracle mineral. And because our soils are so depleted and we don't get enough in our food, we have to learn how to supplement, and we need to make sure that ourselves as moms and our families are getting enough. And this is what I loved about the conversation is we talked about the things that really deplete our magnesium levels. And I don't think you're going to be surprised about that. But I do hope that it fuels you to make sure that you and your family are getting enough of this amazing mineral. And she also talks about the different types of magnesium. Some types of magnesium is better for energy. Did you know this? And some is better for helping you feel calm and sleepy. So this is what I loved about it. I loved learning a little bit more into this beautiful mineral. And what's so cool about Natalie, you guys, is that not only was she shares a lot about her story, where she came from and why she got into magnesium and how it literally changed her life. And now she's taking this story and her purpose and mission, and she created Be Rooted In, this amazing company and she creates non-toxic magnesium creams. And I'm so excited. I looked up the ingredients. They are legit. And I have two of them on the way, the Tranquil and the Sleep. And I can't wait to get them because I'm going to tell you, it's hard to find magnesium supplements for kids, because I look at all these, the multivitamins and stuff that I give my kids, there's just not enough magnesium in there. And so my plan is to start rubbing my babies down before bed, just so that they are getting enough. And I hope this inspires you to do the same. Maybe check out, she actually offered us a beautiful, amazing 20% discount on our products. And really, I love doing this podcast and not only supporting women entrepreneurs. So if you're a woman and an entrepreneur, please reach out to me because I want to support you. I really know how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. But when it comes out of purpose and you're bringing something beautiful to the world and you're living in alignment, you got to let that light shine. You know what I'm saying, sister? So I really hope that you enjoy this quick chat about magnesium. You learn something and you learn how to implement it in your life. So check it out. So tell me a little bit about how you got into being a magnesium expert, because I find that's like really interesting. I mean, we all hear, at least I do, in the health and wellness world, magnesium is so important. Which it totally is. And I can't wait to get more of your insight, but what kind of got you into this work?
That's a really great question. So, rewind a few years ago, I was dealing with really bad hormonal imbalances. I was dealing with really low thyroid. It was causing me to gain a lot of weight. I was dealing with terrible menstrual cycle and cramping. I was anxiety through the roof. Panic attacks were regularly occurring, and my life was just flipped upside down, and I had been to doctor after doctor, specialist after specialist, and they all said, "Oh, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. Your blood work is excellent. You're getting old. That's the problem."
The old issue.
Exactly. As though getting old means that you should totally fall apart. Like maybe that's the case in other countries, or I'm sorry, in this country, but in other countries, people live to an old age and feel wonderful. So I knew that wasn't the right answer. So I kind of did this deep dive. I was already eating well. I've always been a really good healthy eater, and our family always focused on organic living and living naturally, but I knew that there was something missing, like something more that was missing. And so I really dove deep into nutrition and more than just what I'm eating, but what minerals could I be missing? What nutrients are missing? Yeah. And that's when I discovered magnesium, and I discovered it. I started using it on my skin. I was using it on my children, and we saw such a huge impact in our health throughout the whole family, not just for me.
That's amazing. I think a lot of moms, especially, can relate to that. When after you have kids, your body's obviously gone through this huge shift of hormones, and you're not getting as much sleep. And of course, we all want to feel our best and feel, kind of like ourselves.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
and it's crazy that this one, mineral can have such a huge impact. So really it started out, you were sick, you were confused, you were going to the doctor, which I think so many people can relate, that they go to the doctor and they just don't get any answers.
Yes, yes. Or they get answers that you know aren't true. Like, you know, in your
Mhm.
heart, you feel it that, wait, that's not right, you know?
Yes, yeah, we got to follow that. I think that's one of the most important things I've learned as a mom is you've got to follow your gut instinct. And when you're not getting answers, it's like you're the only one that can advocate for your health.
It's so true. So, so true. And you know your body better than anybody else, better than any trained doctor. Nobody's going to know you as much as you know you. So,
Oh, so true. So why do you think, because it's pretty prevalent that so many of us are lacking in magnesium and the amount that we have, and that can have a huge negative impact on our health. So how do we know, like, why is it that we're not getting enough magnesium?
that is an awesome, awesome question. So there's the studies are showing that anywhere from 68 to 80% of Americans are severely deficient in magnesium. So
Wow.
you would think that we would hear about this like on the news, that like Oprah would be talking about this, you know, like you would think that everybody would be talking about this.
Right.
Unfortunately, people, I don't know, it's like this huge secret. I know that the medical industry has not been properly educated on the role of magnesium in terms of nutrition. And I'm
Mhm.
sure you're familiar with this, is that most doctors don't have a nutrition background, and they have very little training on nutrition. And it's unfortunate because there's an incredible resource. Her name is Dr. Carolyn Dean, and she's like the magnesium like guru. And
So
she
cool.
says that about 75% of doctor's appointments can be traced back to low magnesium. So we're seeing this huge disconnect in our medical field and our nutrition field, and we
Yeah.
really need to work to kind of get the word out so that doctors are more well informed and that people know to ask for more information about it.
I think that's great. I mean, doctors aren't at all trained on nutrition at all. I think I read something they maybe have 4 hours of training on nutrition, if that. I mean, really, these doctors are trained to diagnose and prescribe. I mean, that's really the culture of it. And that's why I think so many of us find ourselves sick and
Mhm.
tired. And with the majority of Americans with chronic diseases, I think there's like 70% of Americans are on prescription drugs. Like
Wow.
it's insane. And so I think what we can do, and I think as moms, we need baby steps because it can be so overwhelming. And I think magnesium is one of those things that we can start to implement in our lives that can, like you said, that can make such a huge difference.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree. It's one of those things that's immediately impactful. Like you feel, especially when you start to see your levels increase, you start to feel it like within a few days. It really is. It's huge, especially if you're dealing with some of the symptoms of magnesium, which could be anything from headaches and migraines, muscle cramps, anxiety, depression,
Mm-hmm.
insomnia. All those things have such a huge impact in our lives. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you don't get enough sleep, like you just snap at everybody. You're miserable.
Oh my
It
God,
leads you to eat
totally.
more, and then so you're eating junk food, and you're yelling at your kids, and like everything spirals. So magnesium helps with a lot, with insomnia. It helps with anxiety. It helps with all that. So when you're getting that tiny little bit of relief, all
Mhm.
the other puzzle pieces kind of start to to fall into place, and you feel it.
No, can we? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, can you get enough magnesium in food these days? And I mean, and obviously we know that like most kids are not eating super healthy right now, so they're not getting, you know, the majority of the nutrients that they need. But specifically talking about magnesium, I mean, can we get enough in our food?
I think like anything, when it comes to our food, an orange 50 years ago had significantly more vitamin C in it than an orange now, because
Yeah.
our farming practices are just, they've been brutalized over the years. And our
Mhm.
soil is not what it used to be. Our soil used to be rich in minerals and rich in nutrients. And now we're seeing it's been so overfarmed and over depleted that we're not getting as much as we could be. So to
Mm.
get enough magnesium in one day's calories, you're looking at eating like, 5,000 calories or something ridiculous like that just to get the amount of
Crazy.
magnesium you need. So it's good. It's best to try and get all your nutrients from food, but realistically, it's not always possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I almost have like this supplement addiction. I'm, I'm the first one. I'm in recovery, but what I've learned in my practice is yes, I mean, it's the best to get your nutrients from food. They're most bioavailable there. But when it comes to things like magnesium and iodine and sulfur and like these trace minerals that are vital for our bodies, we just don't get them anymore. And so we have to supplement. But I know that there's like a lot of different kinds of magnesium, right? So, and not every type is going to be best for, going to sleep or, those kind of things. So what can you kind of educate us on the different types and what they're good for?
Sure, yeah. So there's an incredible doctor out there. His name is Dr. Morley, and he runs a magnesium advocacy group. And he's like the ultimate guru when it comes to magnesium. And his recommendation is to try and get, for an adult, to try and get 5 milligrams of magnesium per pound of body weight. So
Oh,
if you're looking at a 200-pound person, you're looking at 1,000 milligrams of magnesium. But what he cautions against is getting them all from the same source. So that 5 milligrams of magnesium per pound is throughout your food, throughout supplements, and throughout topical use. So we're
mm,
looking at everything all together. So I don't recommend, a lot of people will go out and buy a supplement, a random generic supplement, and take a bunch of it all at once. And then they find out that they get stomach upset because
mhm.
one of the side effects of getting too much magnesium at one time is your body will immediately excrete it, and it comes out the bowels, and it gives you loose bowels, and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I caution people that if you're going to start using and supplementing with magnesium, you want to start low and slow and spread it out throughout the entire day. So
Mm,
don't go and take 400 milligrams at a time.
right.
Take a half a dose in the morning, a half a dose in the afternoon, and kind of go that way. And when
Oh,
it comes to different types of supplements, we've got everything from magnesium malate to oxide to threonate. There's just so much out there, and it can be overwhelming and confusing.
mhm.
So what I recommend, doing your research and finding out what's out there, and know that if you've tried one type and it didn't work for you, there are other types available for you. I personally love to use magnesium malate during the day.
Mhm.
Malate tends to be really good for energy. And so it's really uplifting. If you tend to deal with fatigue during the day, I know a lot of people hit that 3 o'clock slump, so malate's a really good one to take during the day. If you have a hard time sleeping at night, glycinate is really effective to take right before bed because it induces sleepiness and calmness.
Mm.
So I personally take malate and glycinate. Like I said, a little bit in the morning, break up your doses.
Yeah.
And then I'm a huge fan of magnesium chloride. And magnesium chloride is used topically on the skin. I really, really love chloride because it bypasses the digestive system. And when you bypass the digestive system, it goes right into your cells, right where you need them, when you need them, and it works a lot faster. And you also don't have to worry about that stomach upset that you can get with other supplements if you take
Right.
stuff early. It's also really good to use for your kiddos because I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
my kids are not a fan of taking any kind of supplements. So if I can just rub them down and send them on their way, it's much easier on me and on them.
No, I think that's brilliant. I was just going to say that right before you brought that up because a lot of kids, like my eldest is 9 now, and he can actually he'll take supplements, like he'll swallow them. I mean, it's a game changer. I'm like, ah. But my 6-year-old is like, he still likes the gummies and the chewies and all the sugary things, and giving them enough and just making sure I do it because it's such a pain in the butt. you know, it's like one less thing that I really want to worry about. But magnesium, I do worry about that. And so I feel like if I could find something that's topical, that you can, rub them down with at night that they enjoy. I think that's huge. Now, through this journey, you created a topical magnesium product, right? So can you kind of tell us like your journey there and how that came up? Because I am such a huge fan of female entrepreneurs, and I love to hear the story. And I mean, especially coming up with a product, I know that's not easy.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been especially this year with COVID and manufacturers, it's been a wild and incredible ride. But yeah, I was using magnesium chloride spray on myself, and I don't know if you've ever used just straight magnesium chloride spray, but it's often like marketed as magnesium oil or magnesium spray.
Yes.
Works incredibly fast. It's unbelievably effective. It's actually studies are showing that it's more effective to get magnesium through your skin. You could actually raise your levels in about 12 weeks, as opposed to supplementing orally, which takes anywhere from 9 to 24 months to effectively raise your levels. So we're seeing like it works, and it works quick and fast, and the side effects are not, no yucky side effects. So I was using chloride on myself, and it was working great. So one day I thought, let me just spray my 9-year-old. Let me spray his back down, because he was being so wild and extra that I wanted him to calm down. And one of the problems with magnesium chloride is it can really, really make your skin itchy, because it's a salt. It's based.
It burns. It burns. I remember I put it on my son, and he was like, ah! I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Exactly. He was like screaming bloody murder, running around. He was unhappy, to say the least. So I worked on, creating a cream, and I don't like making things. That's just, I'm not the one that likes to hand make things. I have a lot of respect for people who can DIY, but it's just not me. So this past year, I worked with manufacturers from all over the world. I worked with 3 different chemists from all over the world to really formulate a clean product that is just chock full of magnesium chloride, but that doesn't have like parabens and all those toxic chemicals that we often find in our skincare. I wanted something clean and healthy, and that had, herbs, and that had essential oils to really support our health. And so we recently launched about 2 months ago, and the feedback has just been like unbelievable. Really, really, lives are being changed. People are getting off their medication, and it's joyous.
That's amazing. And it really does go to show like how when the body gets what it needs, it will do what it's supposed to do, and that's be healthy, regenerate. And I feel like magnesium is one of those things, because I know, and I've read this, that isn't it like responsible for like 300 to 500 different biochemical processes in your body?
It is. It is. It's so amazing what this mineral can do. And one of the most important things that I believe it does is it's responsible for your muscles relaxing. So it does this really beautiful, intricate dance with calcium. So calcium causes our muscles to contract, and then magnesium causes them to relax. So the muscle in our body that does that regularly is our heart. Our heart literally needs magnesium to work. It does that awesome dance between the two of them. And if you don't have enough magnesium, your muscles tend to contract a lot, which causes heart attacks. It's one of the main causes of heart attacks. It's actually when you go into the hospital or emergency room for a heart attack, one of the first things they give you is magnesium because of that. So it's one of those things that like, if we don't have it, we need it to function. Like we won't live,
Absolutely. So what are some things in our life that kind of create or kind of deplete our magnesium?
That's a great question. So one thing I like to call it a magnesium drain. And there's 4 different things that can cause that. The first is stress. The more stressed you are, the more magnesium you're going to burn, and the more that you're going to drain. The second is alcohol. And what's the first thing that people do when they're stressed out? They're like, oh, I need a glass of wine. And they pour themselves a glass of wine, which is further depleting your magnesium. The third one is sugar. I don't know about you, but Halloween, my kids, they get some candy, we give them the day to enjoy their candy, and they are like maniacs the next day. And then I see that they're irritable, and they're grouchy, and they're miserable for at least a couple days afterwards. So what we try to do is kind of give them extra magnesium those couple days to kind of support that. And then the fourth thing that drains our magnesium is exercise. And exercise is so incredibly important for us. But if you are doing high intensity exercise, if you're running, you're strategically burning that magnesium, which is why we see that so many runners and athletes deal with leg cramps and muscle spasms and that type of thing.
And isn't one of the signs if you're, and maybe we can go into kind of some more signs that you might be deficient, but I know I read something that if like you're falling asleep and you like shake, have you heard that? Because I know that that's like your muscles. Again, it's like your muscles' inability to relax.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's your muscles, they don't have enough magnesium. So if your muscles don't have enough magnesium, they're going to contract. You'll also see people who have restless legs, especially while they're sleeping, they have that restless leg thing going on.
Yeah.
Most of this is due to low magnesium as well.
Wow, that's incredible. So headaches, what are some other signs that we might be low in magnesium?
So if you're dealing with leg cramps, hormonal imbalance, that's one of those often overlooked things because hormones are so complicated. There's so much, especially as women, there's so much going on when it comes to our hormones. But if you're dealing with chronic stress, you're dealing with lots of cortisol going on, it's messing with your hormones. And you'll see a lot of people who are dealing with chronic stress and chronic cortisol imbalance, they're dealing with one of the results is estrogen dominance. So we're seeing a lot of people have that estrogen dominance. And if we can get that cortisol to calm down and those stress levels to come down by using magnesium, we're seeing a lot less of the estrogen dominance that results from that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, completely. I think that, this is one of the things that I always, I'm going to say, quote unquote, preach about is, taking baby steps, being able to implement like little things every day that can just help you. And how simple is it to take care of your and your family's magnesium levels?
Absolutely. So there's a couple really awesome, easy, cheap ways to kind of start those baby steps.
Yeah.
And one of them is Epsom salt. So Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, and it's usually available at your grocery store, Walgreens, CVS, that kind of place. It's like $5 a bag. And what I recommend people to do is to soak in the tub for at least 20 minutes. You're going to want to add 2 cups of Epsom salt and 1 cup of baking soda, because the baking soda really helps the magnesium get into your cells really quickly. So do that for at least 20 minutes. I recommend 2 to 3 times a week. But realistically, as a mom who has time, who has time to soak in the tub.
We need to make time. We need to make time for ourselves. This is important stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So if you don't have the time, I recommend at least soaking your feet in that solution. So the 2 cups of Epsom salt, 1 cup of baking soda. If you're watching TV at night, if you're reading a book to your kids, you can just soak your feet, and that'll give you that same feeling. And do that for a couple weeks and see the changes it makes in your life. That's a great way to see the immediate impact of magnesium in your life. So it's a quick, easy fix.
I love that. I love it. So, tell us a little bit about the creams that you made. So you have 3 different types, correct?
Yes. We have 3 different types of magnesium infused therapeutic creams. We created one for sleep because that is such a huge game changer for us moms, is getting enough sleep. It really, I went many years not getting enough sleep, and I am a much nicer, kinder person when I do get my 8 hours.
Isn't that the truth? No kidding.
So our sleep formula has passion flower and chamomile and lavender in it. So we've got some really beautiful herbs in there, as well as essential oils and a ton of magnesium in it. I recommend using that one, of course, at nighttime, rubbing it on the bottoms of your feet. I usually rub it on my chest. It helps a lot to not only help you fall asleep, but actually helps you stay asleep, which I find that's a huge problem for people. Yeah. And if you've got kids like mine who are allergic to sleep, it really, really helps. It helps them stay in bed.
Those darn allergies. Yeah. I mean, what mom doesn't want to help her kids sleep better?
Exactly. Absolutely. And so if you want your kiddo to kind of stay in bed for a little bit longer,
Yeah,
it definitely helps.
awesome.
Our other formula is for pain. So if you're dealing with muscle spasms, inflammation, especially like arthritic inflammation on your hands, joints, knees.
Mhm.
My husband has two herniated discs, and it helps him tremendously to be able to use the magnesium on his back and to actually be able to function like a normal human again.
That's
So that one's made with birch and devil's claw, white willow bark. It's got arnica in it. It's
mm,
got ginger. So lots of these really beautiful herbs that support inflammation coming down as well as the magnesium. And
mhm.
then our third formula is our tranquility, which is my personal favorite because it's unbelievably, incredibly effective for stress and anxiety. So who isn't stressed this year?
No, it's so
Everybody's
true.
dealing with it. So
Everyone is. And that's the thing. It's like if we can just implement these little things to help our bodies, I always
yes.
call it subtraction by addition. So you start adding these good things in. So maybe it's just putting your creams on your feet, and then you start doing that and then you start feeling better. And you're like, okay, that worked. It's a little victory. Now I'm going to do something else. Maybe it's just waking up and drinking water or, it's taking these baby steps. And I love that you made the creams so beautiful. I looked at the ingredients and I am very, very, very particular about what I would ever put on my body. And you've just done a beautiful job. So I commend you on that because that's the thing too. You look at all these like magnesium creams out there, and I'm just like, I don't want that on my body or my kids' bodies because not only great, you're might be, ingesting that magnesium well through the skin, but you're going to be ingesting all the other stuff through your skin too.
Absolutely. It's so important. Our skin absorbs everything we put on it. And people tend to like they think, okay, sure, they don't believe me. But then when I tell them, what about those nicotine patches that people wear all the time or birth control patches? If that tiny little square can make that much of an impact in your
Oh,
body, what could putting lotion from head to toe on your body do? It's
yes, it goes into your bloodstream.
it sure does directly. And it doesn't, the difference about putting things on your skin versus consuming them is at least when you eat something, your body has, stomach acids to break it
Yeah.
down and can pull out the chemicals and toxins, but your skin, you really can't do that.
Mhm.
So
It really
it's
doesn't
really,
have those filters to keep the bad out. I love it. So, where can our audience, if they want to check out your products, where can our audience find you?
yes, you can find me at berootedin.com.
Love it.
And we have, I actually have a really special thing that I've been working on these last few weeks. And it's for moms who are overwhelmed and they're stressed out and they just want a little bit of a break. Because I've been there. I know what it's like to deal with anxiety. I know what it's like to deal with chronic pain and to have terrible insomnia. And it's just, I remember just constantly snapping at my kids and being miserable and falling asleep at 6 o'clock in the evening
Mhm.
because I was so fatigued and exhausted.
Yeah.
So not only did I discover magnesium, but there's also a lot of other little things that you can do to kind of make those small changes in your life that can really support your growth when it comes to health and make your family and your household just a happier, calmer place to be
Yeah.
so that when it is chaotic, you're just joyful and happy and not
Mhm.
just crazy and snapping at everybody.
Yeah.
So I created
Good.
a resource called the Supermom's Guide to Overcoming Stress Naturally. And it's an easy, super simple 5-step plan to getting your life back, to getting that joy and vibrant energy back in your life. And
Oh,
that's available at berootedin.com/supermom.
perfect. I'll be sure that we have that link so people can go there and download that. Natalie,
Awesome.
thank you so much. I really love talking about this kind of stuff and especially bringing this information and simple ways that moms can de stress and start to make big impacts. And truly, my friends, making sure that you have enough magnesium is vital to feeling good, to getting back to feeling like you. And also, really important to help your kids, especially because it's so important. It's like the anti stress mineral. And because so many of us are stressed, we need to make sure that we're getting ample amounts and the right amount.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I forgot to mention, I do have a special discount for
Oh,
all of your listeners. If they use the code Hippie Mom
yes.
on our website, it'll give them 20% off anything in our entire website, in our entire store.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Thank you so much, Natalie. You are so kind and generous. And I really do hope that you all visit her website. Make sure you download that and shop, especially you get to save 20%. And we're coming up on the holidays, so this is a perfect time to use it yourself. Buy yourself this, right? This is your present to yourself, Mom.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for what you do
Oh,
to spread awareness about health and natural living. I am just blown away by all that you do. So I think what you're doing is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
you are so kind. And of course, I love hearing that. And I really feel so honored to just be a conduit of this information. And also it gives me the opportunity to meet amazing women and moms and entrepreneurs like yourself. And I'm just so happy to support that because I know how challenging it is. And so we need to support and encourage each other to live healthier because we're literally raising the next generation. We are
Yes.
literally creating the next world that we're going to live in, that our children are going to live in. And it really does start with mom. And even if it's just doing something simple, making sure, getting before your kids go to bed, get that magnesium rub, those beautiful herbs, and help them sleep better. That's going to decrease their stress, your stress. How much does that impact your life?
Oh, totally, totally. Like when you're stressed and overwhelmed, like I know when I'm in a bad mood, the whole house is in a bad mood.
Oh, amen. Amen, sister. That's what I always tell my family. I'm like, bad moods are contagious.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
they really are. No matter who has them, they will run rampant through the house. And so you have to be mindful I don't want to be contagious. I want to be, I want to be a healthy, happy mom. And it's not about being perfect at all, but it's right. But it's about really giving ourselves the tools and implementing things every day for self-care. And those things make such a huge difference.
They really do. They really do.
Yeah. So what I'm going to visualize is taking my Epsom salt bath and then putting my tranquil, be rooted in magnesium lotion on. Like I can't wait. And is it a cream? Is it a lotion? It comes in like a container like this, right?
Yep, yeah, it's all creams, so they're really hydrating and moisturizing for your skin as well. So it's just, we all wear moisturizer every single day, at least most of us do. So why not use one that will give you nutrients as well?
Oh, I love it. It's brilliant. It's all about getting those nutrients in any way we can. All right. Well, thank you, Natalie. Thank you for listening, my friends. And I just appreciate you being here. And I can't wait to connect with you on the next podcast. All right. We'll see you then. Bye. Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you. Take care.